Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about Bikram Yoga. So Bikram Yoga was actually invented in the 1960s by one man. His name is Bikram Choudhury, and he is an Indian who is now an American, so born in India, American citizen. And he invented it in the 1960s, popularized it in America in the 1970s, and it just became an international sensation. That is kind of until he had some lawsuits filed against him, which was really sad to hear those stories and those truths. But so Bikram Yoga is still practiced, but more often than not, you'll hear it called Hot Yoga. So Hot Yoga doesn't have to be certified or accredited by Bikram himself, but Bikram Yoga does. So Bikram Yoga is 26 asana postures, always a set sequence, always identical, always the same, and 2 pranayamas. Hot Yoga can use those, but maybe change them a little. And so with those, in a hot yoga class, you're not going to likely follow precisely the Bikram sequence. There'll be a couple variations, but hot yoga is also practiced usually in around 105 degrees. That's like 40, 41 degrees Celsius, and so it's a really hot class. And the humidity is even amped up in the room all the way to 40%. So you are sweating, you're slipping all over. It's a very intense practice in terms of the heat that it generates in the body. So I've never actually done a true Bikram class because I have made a choice to not truly, put more money in his pocket myself. But I have done a lot of hot yoga, and I love hot yoga as a practice to work in sometimes into your routine if you're able to and you're near a hot yoga studio. I really like that the heat in the room. It's a huge challenge, and it really forces you to feel, to not be distracted by the heat, right? It's so easy to go, oh, this is miserable, oh, it's so hot, oh, I'm sweating, oh, I'm dripping, but that's the purpose of yoga, is to disregard anything external. It's pratyahara, right? You're withdrawing the senses and you're going inwards. So in this sense withdrawal, you have to ignore the heat, and the heat is such a huge, omnipresent, giant thing in the room that pushing it away is a wonderful challenge for any yoga practitioner. And then those 26 poses are actually pretty nice. They're all derived from the Hatha tradition. They're not incredibly difficult, I wouldn't say. There wasn't anything that was, Ashtanga has some asanas that are just mind-blowing in how you have to kind of make yourself into a pretzel. But in the hot yoga or Bikram yoga sequence, there's nothing too, there's a couple that are challenging. But I think it's a pretty good sequence. It's kind of easy to memorize. It makes good sense. And it's nice to practice even if you don't have a 105-degree room at 40% humidity. So even if you just were on a hot summer day outside, not directly in the sunlight, right? But it's a good thing to practice. Also, there's 2 pranayamas that are part of that sequence, and so it's nice to have a practice that incorporates pranayama as well as asana. And usually a true hot yoga class or a true Bikram class does take 90 minutes to complete. So just a heads up there about what is Bikram Yoga, what is hot yoga. Head on over to wildyogatribe.com/different yoga types for more.